Coming up on NT Daily News, we'll show you a new angle from a surveillance camera of what led up to the shootout with a Denton police officer earlier this week.
Plus, early voting ends soon. We'll take a look how this could affect future bike lanes.
And we'll tell you about an update on Capitol Hill over the impeachment inquiry. We'll show you the reactions from both sides.
From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
A Denton police officer is still in the hospital after being shot while on duty. Thanks for joining us. I'm Abram Gallegos.
And I'm Sierra Galvez. NT Daily's Asmar Khan is on West University Drive where the shooting happened.
The Taco Bell right behind me is where the shooting took place, which left a Denton Police Department officer in critical condition. But right now, all the focus is on this pawn shop, which caught everything on its surveillance camera. The shooting took place early Tuesday morning at around 2 a.m., leaving Officer Urbano Rodriguez Jr. in critical condition. As you can see in this surveillance footage, the officer pulled over the suspect in the Taco Bell parking lot. The suspect then fires at the police officer, which caused panic among other people in the area. Here you see another car pull into the parking lot. The driver sees the police officer lying down after the shooting and tries to back off as the suspect tries to escape. Caleb Meadows is the manager of the pawn shop. His cameras recorded the scene while it happened, and he says he could see what was going on through his live app on the phone.
I found out about it a bit by, I had a text message from the landlord and was telling me that there was some police activity, and so I opened up my app on my phone that shows my live security footage, and I saw the police activity, and then I started to Google what was going on and seeing the different things.
After a low-speed chase, Carrollton and Farmer Branch police officers arrested the suspects Antoine Pinkston and Michelle Stacy. They are now in Denton County Jail. According to the Denton Police Department, Officer Urbano Rodriguez Jr. just had his second surgery and remains in critical but stable condition. Asmar Khan, live in Denton, NT Daily News.
Gathered and held a vigil today on campus, paying respects to the victims of the Texas A&M Commerce shooting. That shooting happened during homecoming celebrations last Saturday. NT Daily's Oscar Suarez went to the vigil and joins us here now.
Over 30 students gathered at the Student Union earlier today to hold a moment of silence for those affected by the Texas A&M Commerce shooting. The Student Government Association worked with the Black Student Union to hold a vigil where safety and mutual respect were highlighted. The event was held to let students know what happened and to help them feel safe as homecoming is being celebrated this week at UNT. Staff at the vigil also spoke about on-campus resources to help students during difficult times like what happened at Texas A&M Commerce.
So as far as student resources, the Counseling Testing Service Center, Damien, he talked about that, and that was pretty much the biggest one that was talked about. A lot of us got the message from the president just speaking on, being safe in the events that we have that are off campus. So that's really the biggest things that were talked about was just the counseling testing services as well as just students being safe when they are going out to on-campus events.
The vigil gave students a chance to come together and talk about a difficult topic, allowing students to express themselves as gun violence continues.
With homecoming week underway, the UNT president sent an email focusing on safety at off-campus events. The president encouraged students to be aware of their surroundings and to put their safety first. He also suggested students should consider additional security measures to be prepared. Resources or training can be found by contacting the Division of Student Affairs or the UNT Police Department.
Tomorrow is the last day for early voting. NT Daily's Jaylene Ramirez has more on why a UNT student and Bike Denton member believe it is important to head to your nearest polling location.
Voting can bring many changes, but UNT student government member Deanna Ayers says that it is especially important that UNT students have a polling location.
So in Denton, UNT makes up like 25% of the population, and it's really important that we're represented and we have a place to vote that's accessible to us.
Ayers says it is important for students to vote because they are the future of Texas politics and need to know what is going on.
It can be intimidating. There are 14 things on the ballot if you live in the city of Denton, but it's also really easy to get informed, and a lot of resources and a bunch of people who are willing to make time in their day to help you understand what is on the ballot and just make sure that you go and vote.
With the opportunity to vote on constitutional amendment changes and 4 bond proposals, Bike Denton member Eric Pruitt says Proposition C can provide trail systems to improve bike safety.
Unfortunately, we've had people killed who were biking in this town. Texas in general is a state which many people live and work at greater distances than in other communities and other states.
Pruitt says many busy intersections like the one on Fry Street and Hickory are very hard to get around with unsafe bike lanes.
There's very, very few that can get downtown, right? And so these destinations that are both functional and popular are things that that people want to ride bikes to, and right now they're just not safe to do so. So as a result, you just get in the habit of driving everywhere.
Pruitt says turnout on local elections are historically low, but has hope for change. For NT Daily TV, I'm Jaylene Ramirez.
Early voting polling locations will be open today and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. In Denton, voters will cast ballots on 4 proposed bonds totaling close to $222 million. If passed, the bonds would go towards street repairs, repairing the police department, public art, and acquiring land for parks. Election day will be on Tuesday, November 5th. For more information or to find the closest voting location, you can visit votedenton.com.
Who doesn't love to eat mac and cheese, especially if it's for a good cause? The Denton Mac and Cheese Festival will be held on November 3rd, close to Oak Street Draft House and Cocktail Parlor. It will help pay off student lunch debt in Denton ISD. One of the founders came up with the idea to hold the event after his wife, who works for the school district, complained about the student lunch debts. Adam Lysinger is one of the 4 founders of this event and says they hope to raise $7,000.
We all think it's a great cause because when we were in school, if you didn't eat lunch that day, you had a miserable day. It's just one of those that it's a great cause to help out kids, and also macaroni and cheese everyone loves macaroni and cheese, but especially when you're a kid.
The Mac and Cheese is a kid-friendly event, and the entry fee is $20.
The University of North Texas Health and Wellness Center now accepts certain major insurance carriers. I found out how this change is impacting students and their health. The Health and Wellness Center is an on-campus medical clinic for students. It has trained medical providers on staff, and it offers a vast array of services. In the past, UNT students would have to pay a pretty hefty amount if they had to go to the clinic, especially if they need a test run or blood drawn. Now, instead of students having to pay the fees out of pocket, they can file through their insurance.
This has been one of our goals for about 6 years now. After we became an accredited healthcare facility, the next step for us was to start filing additional insurances. So the actual process started about 19 months ago.
If students go in and need further testing done, they will pay the copay amount, and all other services will first be filed on insurance to see how much will be covered.
I've had to go to the Health and Wellness Center in the past, and it definitely wasn't fun seeing how much I owed afterwards. But I was sick, so I had to go and I had to be seen. So now that I think it's great that we can file insurance, and I think it'll help a lot of people. More people will be likely to go and get help when they're sick.
The clinic currently accepts Blue Cross Blue Shield, MultiPlan, and United Healthcare Student Resources, which is the university-sponsored insurance.
This has been the #1 requested service for, I believe, going on 9 years of our user non-user survey as to why students don't use us or what students who do use us would like to see. It's also the most requested service from parents, so we've been happy that we've been able to start providing that. We know that we're not servicing a lot of people right now.
The clinic hopes with this new initiative, it will be able to help more students in need.
I know that I personally wouldn't go in the past because I couldn't afford it. I know that is also true for a lot of students at UNT. So it's amazing now that the school cares enough to offer this for us.
The clinic is open from 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday and 9:30 to 5 on Fridays.
Coming up, there's a major development on the impeachment inquiry vote. Stay tuned to find out the results.
He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy," when she hit me with her car and killed me. As a licensed driver, it's your responsibility to share the road with people who may be on the sidewalk, on the bike lanes, on the road itself, whether they're walking, skating, biking, hydroplaning, hydroflasking, hyperboarding, whatever. It's important to give people 3 to 6 feet of clearance room on either side, so we're all a little bit safer. It's your responsibility to share the road.
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. Then, I just kept taking them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
It's a historic move. The House of Representatives formalized the impeachment inquiry into President Trump. The vote, split almost entirely along party lines, set the stage for the next, more public phase in the investigation. Mary Maloney is in Washington to explain.
The resolution is adopted without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
A divided House sent a message. The impeachment inquiry into President Trump is moving forward.
It's a sad day because nobody comes to Congress to impeach a president of the United States. No one.
The step is significant. For the first time in the Trump presidency, representatives voted on the record and set rules to make the impeachment process more public.
As the inquiry proceeds, we'll decide whether we'll go forward with impeachment. That decision has not been made.
At issue, a whistleblower complaint alleging the president pressured Ukraine to investigate a Democratic rival. The political polarization into the Democratic-led investigation on full display. No Republican voted for the measure. 2 Democrats voted no on the resolution.
Not only did every single Republican reject the Soviet-style impeachment process, but we were even joined by Democrats who couldn't stand it anymore.
Almost immediately, President Trump reacted to the decision, tweeting, "The greatest witch hunt in American history."
In the sham that has been putting this country through this nightmare.
This is the 3rd time the House of Representatives voted on an impeachment inquiry into a sitting president. While it's unclear how quick the investigation will be, what is clear, the process will consume the country's attention before the 2020 elections. In Washington, I'm Mary Maloney.
Evacuations were issued in Southern California this morning when another brush fire erupted. Known as the 46 Fire, it's already burned more than 300 acres and destroyed 3 homes. Volunteers at a pet adoption center also loaded animals into crates so they could get the pets out safely if the flames got too close. Some schools were closed and public transportation routes were canceled in the area. Firefighters are dealing with high winds as they work to put out the blaze. The city of Dallas continues the recovery process following the tornadoes that came on October 28th. Earlier this week, the city opened a multi-agency resource center, or MARC for short. MARC provides a central location for residents to access many government and non-governmental organizations for recovery efforts. Tomorrow will be the last day that MARC will be open. They will operate from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. More information can be found by contacting 214-315-6272 or by visiting dallascitynews.net.
After the break, we'll take a look at how a rule change in the NCAA will affect student athletes.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C² =
25.
Good job!
Or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Washington Nationals defeated the Houston Astros by a score 6-2 in the winner-take-all Game 7 Wednesday night to win the 2019 MLB World Series. Andy Scholes was in the Nationals locker room post-game to get the team's reaction.
The champagne and beer flowing for the Washington Nationals for the first time as World Series champions. And this was a team of destiny. Every time they had their backs against the wall, they figured out a way to get it done. And in Game 7 of the World Series, it was Howie Kendrick with the big 2-run home run.
I'm so happy for the organization, for the city. I hope they're ready for a party because we're coming home.
Yeah, there was some heartbreak in the past, but nothing but love here, and we're just enjoying the ride. What do you got to say to the fans waiting in D.C. for you? Oh man, I hope to see them loud, excited just like we are.
We couldn't be happier. You know, I think the fans have been behind us all year. We showed them that we were going to continue to fight for them and give it our all, and I'm just happy we got it done for him.
He's amazing. Amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Can you believe it? He's 21. Look at this. Yeah.
The road team won all 7 games of this series. It's the first time that's ever happened in American professional sports, and it's only fitting that this never say die gritty national team was the one to accomplish it. In the party in the Nationals clubhouse in Houston, Andy Scholes, CNN.
The World Series championship is the first in franchise history for the Nationals. Earlier this week, the NCAA's top governing board voted unanimously to allow students participating in athletics the opportunity to benefit from the use of their name, image, and likeness. The Board of Governors' action directs each of the NCAA's 3 divisions to immediately consider updates to relevant bylaws and policies for the 21st century.
Well, our working group has been working for several months to present us with a set of recommendations to help guide us in modernizing the rules and regulations that we have at the NC2A, and we're excited about being able to do that.
Of course, there will be restrictions to maintain enforceable and balanced competition. The 3 divisions have until the end of January 2021 to come up with their own rules. The decision comes a month after California voted to allow college athletes to profit from endorsements. It's homecoming week, and the Mean Green football team will play the University of Texas El Paso at Apogee Stadium this Saturday. The game kicks off at 2:30 p.m. as North Texas takes on the Miners. UNT enters the contest at 3-5 overall with a 2-2 conference record, while UTEP is 1-6 and 0-4 in conference. Both teams are coming off losses last week and are looking to get back on track. For the first time, the game will be broadcast nationally on NFL Network. The North Texas soccer team is traveling to Houston to play its final regular season match before they host the Conference USA Women's Soccer Championship. The Mean Green will face off against Rice Friday night at 7 p.m. with the top seed at the league tournament at stake. If the Mean Green defeat the Owls this Friday and Florida Atlantic ties or loses versus Florida International, UNT would take the first seed into the conference tournament. Former MVP and Texas Ranger player Josh Hamilton was arrested yesterday. Hamilton is accused of injury to a child, which is a 3rd-degree felony. According to a Keller police affidavit, Hamilton physically beat and threw a chair at his 14-year-old daughter this past September. He posted his bail, which was $35,000. Coming up, we'll show you how the color blue is being used to make sure everyone feels included this Halloween.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank
As a parent, there are no perfect answers, but you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The mother of an autistic child has started a campaign to allow her son to be included in trick-or-treating. Rosalind Anderson reports on children carrying blue buckets this Halloween.
Among the ghouls and goblins crowding your doorstep for candy could be children with autism. You'd know because they would be carrying blue buckets to haul all the good loot.
We want them to be with their peers and we want them to be included.
Carly Fridmansky is a certified behavior analyst at the Growing Tree in Flowood who works with autistic children. Some may not speak but want to be included. This Halloween, children with autism will be carrying blue buckets or jack-o'-lanterns. Blue is the color of autism awareness.
The blue bucket represents the fact that, a lot of times when children are trick-or-treating, they will wait for someone to say trick or treat. Well, this represents, like, hey, this child cannot say that, and this just represents that to the parents.
The blue Halloween buckets became a symbol after one mom had to explain at each house that her child couldn't speak, but she wanted him to be a part of the fun.
The reason that she started this was to just let the children have their time at Halloween and enjoy it and not be expected to say something or do something that they can't.
The Growing Tree also works with their students on how to trick or treat, knock on doors, and put on costumes. Major achievements for children who want to be among the superheroes and creatures enjoying All Hallows Eve. In Flowood, Rosalind Anderson, 3 on your side.
Be aware that older autistic teens could be carrying blue buckets around the neighborhood as well.
Staying safe will be on everyone's mind tonight as kids go from house to house looking for goodies. Some things to keep in mind would be to stay on the sidewalk, wear costumes that are visible, keep an eye out for suspicious candy wrappers, and for young children to be accompanied by an adult at all times. For bad reactions to candy, contact Poison Control at 800-222-1222.
That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time for NT Daily News.